Hello, hello, hello. I'm Alucard Night Raven. Welcome to my channel, and welcome to my next retro review. Today I'm looking at Transformer Cybertron Crosswise. And he, in the lore of the show, was the monster hunter. What he did was he hunted down rogue Decepticons who had been sent to Earth, or at the time a distant planet from Cybertron, by Megatron, because they were too out of hand. And in the history of the Earth, they had ended up becoming known as vampires, werewolves, banshees, all different kinds of mythical monsters, hydras, all of it. So Crosswise and Evac, they on Earth, while Evac was protector of Earth's cyberplanet key, Crosswise was the one who would go out and hunt down all these Decepticons or monsters, and became known as the Monster Hunter Crosswise. So, but there he is, and you can see he is a black sports car. Kind of, I'm not sure what kind of sports car exactly he is, but he's like, he looks like kind of a mix of a Bugatti and a Maserati, and like there's just so many different elements here. But he is definitely like one of them higher end sports cars. Like you got to be like a millionaire to be able to afford one. But yeah, he is very cool. Definitely like him. He does have, like, it's not a difficult transformation, it's a very interesting transformation, and some things get in the way when going back and forth. So, but we'll get through it. But you can see nice black paint all the way around. We got the translucent sort of bluish green on the windows and the windshield. And even for this piece, and if you see any dust, do forgive that. Remember, these are older figures and have been on my shelves for a while. Nice silver paint for the rims. We got gold here on the headlights, silver for the grill, Autobot symbol in the middle there, some red here, some more silver going up on the roof, on the spoiler here, some more silver coming around. You can already tell this is going to be a handheld weapon. Same thing on this side, that's on the other side. And on the back, the taillights are actually picked out in red paint, so that's a nice detail. A lot of times those are forgotten. And his cyber key can be utilized in this mode, and you can see where it plugs into right in the back there. So we'll plug it in, and it flips out these missile launchers. And I like that the tips of the missiles are decked out in that same gold paint that the headlights are. So again, looks very nice. And of course, we can just store them back. And hold one down when you're putting both back, because otherwise it likes to go back and forth on you. And this is sort of representing a flame coming out. I mean, granted, that's not really an exhaust, but it works. This does fire very nicely. We'll plug that back in. Whoops. There we go. So yeah, that is Crosswise in his vehicle mode. Looks very nice. There's the underside. You can see the legs. So let's get into his robot mode. Let me lift you up so you can see what I'm doing. First thing we're going to do is we're going to remove this piece, our weapon, set that off to the side. Now, let's see. What we want to do is we want to start unpegging all of this. So unpeg these pieces and kind of just lift it up out of the way. And we don't want that unpegged quite yet, but you can see it, like once you put everything together, everything holds everything else together. Move that up out of the way. Now these, like, this can be forgotten, but what you want to do is you want to actually spin these around 180 degrees, and that's going to work for when he's in his robot mode. So now next thing we want to is separate everything else. We're going to rotate this out just like this. Same thing with this one on this side on the doors, and this one has the door and the roof. Now we want to untab the legs from under here, and you can see it's these posts right here that plug in to these pieces right here. And then we're going to bring this down. Let's see. No. Yeah, bring it down just like this. And then we can just, if we want, we can bring the toe out and the heel out. Make sure you can see what I'm doing here. Toe and the heel, and there's the legs pretty much done. So now this, we're going to bring it up, and we want to bring the head up, rotate it around, and we want it to all plug in like this. And then this is going to plug in to the waist just like that. You can see most of that's already done. So now we'll rotate the arms where we need them. Just, you can bring these something like this. This we want to rotate just like that, and that's going to be one arm done. And the same thing with this arm. Rotate all this out, rotate it around, rotate here. So some of this does tend to get in the way. And then what we do here is these pieces, we just sort of, we bring them down a little bit, and then they just sort of sit. Okay, I'm sorry, bring them up, and then they just sort of kind of sit like that. It's not the most good looking robot mode, but it works. It would have been nice, honestly, if there was like a plug-in for these. But yeah, you can see where everything is. But that is, whoops, I'm going to rotate his arm, this arm around. But that is his robot mode all done. And get him straightened out here. And there we have Crosswise all transformed into his robot mode. And it's not a bad looking figure. It is like odd, especially with the way these pieces are and they jut out the back. Definitely an interesting robot mode, an interesting transformation, but it's not difficult. It's a little more getting a couple of things around other things. Like when I first got this, I had a hard time with it. Now I mean, after so many more years of dealing with more complex Transformers, this is more of a breeze. But at the time, like the Cybertron figures were like more complex than any other figure we have. But in the last 16 years, we have had way more complex figures, not just official but third party. So something like this is now no problem. But let's take a look at our Monster Hunter here. And there is his head, and very nice head. Got that gold, that same translucent, kind of want to call it aquamarine, maybe? It's definitely like a bluish green. It's not full on green. There's definitely some, like a mix of blue in there. But looks good for the visor over the eyes. The eyes, it's hard to tell. I can't tell if they're painted or not. Nice silver on the face, and you can even tell like behind the visor that that's all painted silver. I just cannot tell if those eyes are painted blue or not. It looks like kind of they're, let me see if a little bit more light will help. No, definitely don't help. And then of course that same black. Now of course the front of the car is his chest. Do forgive that, I don't know, that got scuffed up. I think when I had him packed, I thought I had it packed nicely, and I think a couple of figures rubbed together, or another figure rubbed onto him and did that. But older figures, sometimes things are like that are going to happen, unfortunately. Got the doors hanging out on the shoulders here. Got some gold picked out right here on the arms on both sides. Of course, got the roof of the car. Could work as a shield. Now we've got some red and gold down here at the waist. And of course some gold on the feet. And then, yeah, and then there's the back. You can kind of see like how much that sticks out. But it is transformed properly. There's no other way to get around it. So, articulation head can move all the way around. It can move up, look up that far, and look down about that far. So this head actually has more articulation than I think all of the other figures in Cybertron, which is surprising. I think there might be another one that has a head that's very similar, but arms, we can go out that far or go up that far. We get full 360. We've got ball joint for the elbow, so we get all different kinds of movement there. Kind of hard to tell. We'll check this side. Got slightly over 90 on the elbow. Nothing for a waist. Can kick, high kick about that far. Kickback not too far. Full Van Damme. With that being on a ball joint, we get a little bit of a waist swivel. Same thing with the knee on a ball joint. We get some decent art movement with that, and just a hair over 90. It's hardly noticeable. And then the feet can move down on the toes, up on the toes. Same thing with the heels. That's about it. And then, of course, his cyber key gimmick can be used in this mode as well. So, of course, we'll bring that back in, plug it in, and now they're over his shoulders. His big, beefy shoulders. So, yeah, there is... Oh, I suppose you could actually bring him out this far. That looks a little bit better. Yeah. I can't remember how I had it before I transformed it back to car mode. That's the whole thing. Like, I think it was something like that. Yeah. It's just getting it where you like it. I mean, personal preferences. But yeah, his cyber key gimmick, now they're over his shoulder, so that's very nice. And of course, bring them back down. Oh, whoops. Take the key out first so they lock back in. And then the last thing is he can hold his weapon. Just a post or a peg that goes in that hand, and then there we go. position him however you like. Whoops. And yeah, there we have Crosswise, all armed up, besides the shoulder launchers. But looks good. It's another figure that I do like. It's really nice car mode. Love that it's definitely that more expensive style sports car, that more $80,000, $100,000, $200,000 sports car style mode, and it looks good. It looks really good. I'm sure someone who's more familiar with those types of cars can definitely pinpoint like what he matches better than I can. I don't know those kinds of sports cars. I'm more of a classic muscle car guy. So personally, as well as a truck guy, but he does look good. And then robot mode, it's unique. Again, with Transformers Cybertron, it's unique, and he looks good. I do like him. Yes, some limited articulation, but it's with what we've seen in Cybertron, it's for the time really good articulation. I definitely do like this figure as well. He didn't have like the biggest role in the cartoon, but he had a very interesting role. It's definitely worth a watch. And definitely a great addition if you're looking to expand your Transformers Cybertron collection. If you hadn't gotten him when he came out, and you're looking online, I do hope you find him for a really good price. Said, my fellow collectors, I am always hoping that you find what you're looking for on a price that you feel is a good price, that you feel is acceptable. Definitely always sending out them positive thoughts for you, my fellow collectors, when you're looking for something, especially something from my retro reviews. Transformers Cybertron is definitely an excellent line to get into. However, as I've said in some previous reviews, with certain figures, I do recommend definitely going for the Takara release. Yes, it's going to cost more. However, you're going to get proper paint. With a couple of the figures, you're not just going to get proper paint, but their transformation is actually going to work better. Like with Galaxy Force Inch Up, the purple monster truck. I'm forgetting his American name all of a sudden. On the U.S. release, the head, you had a gap between the head and the chest, because it didn't like come down all the way because of something they did with either the different colored plastic they used or slightly different plastic they used. However, the Takara release, the Galaxy Force Inch Up, that gap is gone. It looks so much better because of the way everything like closed up. Yeah. So certain figures I definitely recommend going for Takara. But with Crosswise, I don't really have anything more to say on him. Like I said, another great figure, another excellent character. Still to this day, as I always say, still one of my favorite lines. Like, I love Transformers Cybertron. And I'm happy that you guys enjoy my retro reviews. So that is it for me today. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all later.